Good evening, everyone. This is Anthony, Wall Street Trader. It is 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday, September 20th, 2021. This is not financial advice. The video is intended for educational purposes only. Click the subscribe and the bell if you want to be updated. Click the thumbs up. Share the video to your friends, your enemies, your frenemies, your family, your neighbors, your coworkers, your colleagues. Get the word out on Quant. Intraday updates are on the Twitter link below the video. Click on that if you want my intraday updates. In the meantime, man, oh man, what a day. What a day. Starting late last night into today, you could tell today was not a good day. So, a couple of things. Number one, Quant has suffered an enormous amount of pullback here, probably 25% or so from its all-time high. Couple of things with this everyone should be aware of. Number one, this has nothing to do with Quant. This is a complete macro event, and you probably know this already. Look at the stock market. Look at what's going on in China with Evergrande collapsing, big property real estate company. Look at what's going on with the Fed coming out with tapering announcements this week. Let me tell you something, folks. This is significant. It's macro. Everyone's selling. It's the risk on trade right now. Everybody's selling assets across the board. It is not just cryptos. It's everything else, and cryptos are a part of that too. So just get that in your head and take a nice, just relax. Everything long term. Look at the long-term picture. Don't look at what's here and now. It stinks. This is the first time we've been under the weather in my videos since I started this thing a couple of weeks ago with Quant. We were kind of all the way bullish up until last night and to today. So a couple of things. Let's talk about the price action on the Quant coin. The Quant US dollar tether pair, similar to US dollar. Good enough here, but look, we had this channel. We had broken out of it. We were respecting this top line of what was then support. Now we went below it. And when we went below it fast. Why? Because it was support. And once you fall through the floor, man, gravity just takes over. That's exactly what happened. Now, what's going on right now is hard to tell, if we do. So I drew this line since our last video because this is another area of support. Clearly, it looks like we are respecting it well. And right now, that new floor right now is 257 and change. We have since recovered almighty, probably around 10% by now because we're at 288 and change. Now, a couple of things here that could happen. I don't want to scare the hell out of everybody, but if we pass 256, because we're in a macro cycle right now, and I think we're gonna be choppy for the next couple of weeks, maybe down. We're gonna go through that in a second in terms of why I think the next 2 weeks will be potentially choppy. But before we get into that, I just want everyone to know that if we do fall below this 261, I have a feeling, and I'm going to draw this real time right now, right here. I drew it before, but I want you to see it without too much. If we pass 252, we could be down again another 15 to 20% down to the 218 range. And I'm not trying to scare anyone. Again, this is not perfect science, and this is not financial advice, but just be aware of that. Again, if we break, my theory is if we break 260 or 250 and change, we could be on our merry way down to the next line of support, which is around 221. Now, a couple of things I want everyone to understand, though. We're back in this channel, so I'm going to get rid of, I'll keep these two lines for now, but I'm going to zoom out so everyone understands. We were over the channel. We were in great shape. We pulled back into the channel. So we're back in the channel. The channel is still on the up. So again, staying power here and holding on to your wits is important. Now, going over the Quant Bitcoin though, this is still, we haven't really broken out. We had a little peep. We stuck our head out like a little turtle and got scared, pulled it back. But look, we continued, we were up as high as 871,000, and we're all the way down to 658. Fairly significant, but again, altcoin getting decimated more so than Bitcoin. We'll go into that too in a second. But in the meantime, we're kind of still a little bit over the middle part of the range. So, we could still continue to see some pullback. I've mentioned the potential pullback on this pair in our last video. So again, take a look at the last video. Worried about a pullback here, and believe me, this is a direct impact to the Quant dollar pair as well. Now let's move into Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has been just dandy. Let's just take a look at what's going on over here. So I want to go back in time, because it's nice that the past performance has nothing to do with the future. But you can start to see certain patterns that have happened before that happen over and over again. Rectangular patterns are one that I particularly love to see. Look at this. This whole rectangle here, starting from May, this is when we kind of went down really bad. It's very similar to this as the starting point. Now, as we went on, we kind of went up, and then we started to go down really hard down here, which was halfway through the cycle. We're seeing the same exact thing. We're going all the way down, like really hard, bouncing back again. I think we're halfway through this cycle, and I've extended these lines out to show where the end is. So this is almost 2 weeks in the making. This starting from here all the way over to here. And then the next 2 weeks are from here all the way over to here. So hence, I think with the Fed coming out this week, bad news for the market, bad news. People just don't like the Fed lately. I have a feeling we're going to hear tapering news. That's going to be a negative impact to equities. I think it's risk on trade again. We're going to see the dollar strengthen. Same thing with what's going on with the Evergrande situation in China. More fear in the environment. Look, this is not a great place to be. Now, I think we might just wind up chopping around for the next couple of weeks. But this, who knows? Anything's possible. It is crypto land. So I don't want to tell everyone we're just going to be sitting here chopping in a range. It's hard to say. But it feels very ominously like what we've already seen. So I'm going to continue to keep these two horizontal bars up here so that we can track it and see where this thing ends up. In the meantime, let's go take a look at Bitcoin dominance, and to explain the other point that I mentioned earlier today, or just now I should say, which is the fact that altcoins do get negatively impacted when the Bitcoin dominance goes up and Bitcoin goes down. So Bitcoin dominance went up, which means more people are, as a proportion, are putting more money to Bitcoin than altcoin. And when Bitcoin's going down, that means altcoins are just naturally going to do worse as a whole. And that's exactly what's going on here. So we have reversed the trend. We are now on a channel. This channel is going up. That means altcoins will do not as well if Bitcoin goes up. It also means that altcoins will do worse than Bitcoin when Bitcoin goes down. Just something to pay attention to. We're at the bottom of the channel. This trend could reverse as well, but we are in a channel, and the channel is now up. If we take a bigger look at this, remember, we kind of kicked down after this bearish triangle, kicked down into this channel. This channel's been going on for over almost a couple of months now. But now we have this short-term reversal. Don't know how long this will last. Could get even more aggressive. It depends. But we're going to keep our eye on that too. Remember, Quant US dollar, if we go below 257, our next line of support could be 219. I'm not saying it's going there. I'm just advising you that if you start to see this break, you might be able to get it at a much cheaper price than you would have gotten it, right after that breaks. So again, if it breaks 256, fairly quickly, and you start to see it come down, you might be able to grab some at 220 if that opportunity prevails. Again, it could even further go down to the bottom of the channel, but just given where I see this intermediate support, I think we might be okay. But we're going to keep our eye on Bitcoin. Bitcoin catching a nice bid right now at 42,494. Hope everyone's well. Stay safe. Take it easy.